We were very much in the right place at the right time. I believe it was meant to happen. We heard that this lodge was for sale and we were just very lucky to have some money to be able to invest.
We initially had a 5-year plan. Nursery school, youth club for AJ and my internet room, media room, and to carry on the school garden.
She does her things with environment, gardening, and I work with the children. We were just really in the right place, right time, and met each other with the ideas and dreams. How it began, Josie and I had come to the end of our volunteer work and were very much scratching heads, not wanting to go home, and we bumped into each other and had a nice afternoon and talked about what we dream of doing, that we'd like to stay here and carry on the volunteer work we do, but be able to have some kind of sustainability.
What's the butterfly doing?
Yay! Well done! I've been in Malawi for 7 years now, running this project and Backpacker Lodge. Before that I was at university studying film and came out to Malawi to make a film, but I fell in love with the country and didn't actually ever end up taking the film back with me. Me and AJ only met about 3 weeks before we bought Butterfly. They were asking loads more money and we didn't even think we could afford it, and then one buyer fell through and another buyer fell through, and then we just suddenly started thinking, oh, maybe we should put in an offer. And we chatted just about, like I said, we didn't know each other, and we just chatted about our ideas for turning it into a community place. And on that we clicked straight away with our ideas about what we wanted it to become. From my side, the first thing I did was to build a nursery school. There was already a nursery school quite close to here, but there was one teacher in a tiny, tiny room with about 60, 70 children. She wasn't paid, they didn't get any food, and she came to me saying, you know, this is not how this school should be. And that's the first project, was to build a 2-classroom nursery school and employ 2 teachers. Following that, I built a youth club here on site that's used every afternoon for older children to come after school and hang out. It's educational based, but really it's just a lot of fun. I think it's 12 existing projects now. There's 2 nursery schools, the youth club, the disabled youth, the Mpamba disabled training, which is like a skills-based training, the internet information room, the HIV group, which is nutrition based, the environmental gardening projects, the school link programs, where there's an exchange from England to a local school here, and a very small primary school. There's women's groups and there's many within it. So there's women selling peanut butter, there's women making biscuits, there's a sewing group where they make bags and skirts. Lots of different groups come to us and we think of an idea for business, whether it be a loan or sipa, which is a small fish out here that they buy a big load of sipa and they can sell it to the fishermen for a markup.
What is his name? Peter? Peter Shiwa. And one leg is a little bit longer than the other one.
I got involved with Butterfly Space because I wanted to find out why they're not accessing healthcare in Malawi. Is it because of money? Is it because they don't know where it is? I think it was about a year ago. There's a physically disabled man. He had polio as a child and he works as a teacher, but he has to walk around on crutches. He's got no movement in his legs. Came to Alice and said, I really want somewhere where the disabled people in my village can all meet and come together.
No. Left. Okay. And we want him to bend his knee.
I was just seeing a 12-year-old boy who was getting a lot of hip pain. I was really lucky that I had an interpreter there, so it meant that I could actually communicate with the people that week.
One more thing. Ask him, is this painful? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was really good to see the boy. I don't think he's even seen a doctor out here. I do remember he was quite a simple musculoskeletal problem for me, the sort of thing that I've seen many times in the UK, so it was very easy for me to say with the symptoms and also assessing him, the problem. And what's brilliant is hopefully he can come back and see me again. I can see how he's getting on with his exercises, if they've helped, if he needs some more. So I'll do a few more clinics at the centre before I leave as well.
My name's Adam Sullivan and I'm from the States, and I'm a farmer there and a gardener, and yeah, came to Africa to do some traveling for a few months and wanted to stop here just to kind of be in one place for a while and just kind of do some of the work that I do at home and help out around this place, beautiful place like this, instead of just, you know, hedonistically traveling the whole time. And right here specifically, we took this big tree down right here that was kind of blocking this sun in this beautiful spot here. So this will be a sun-filled, water-drenched kind of terracey place right here. And we put in all these bananas and some erosion control, some vetiver, and some sweet potatoes, which are good vines to just kind of control the erosion. Because they're just, when the water comes, when the rains come, it just comes right down. There's this opportunity to do a lot of different things in various parts of the community, or even just right here on the land. And you feel like you're actually doing something and not, you're just not kind of being used, or you're not just like showing up to just donate your money, or don't just, you feel like you're actually being a part of something. And that feels really good.
We've come off the flush toilet system. All our chalets and the lodge are on compost toilets now. We have a solar cooker. We've got a little solar dryer, things like that we can use, or we'll do some solar water heating for the kitchen. So simple things like that we can do, and then also demonstrate how people can do it. I'd love to get people who have knowledge in environmental building techniques and get out of the routine of grass and plastic.
Since I started working here, I felt I'm just at the right place. I started as a barman, but I just worked there for about like 6 months. Then these guys felt like I'm the right person to help them in the office. To be honest, when I started working here, I didn't have knowledge on how to use much on computers, but I've learned a lot of computer skills. I've trained here at Butterfly as well, and I've facilitated maybe 2 times on permaculture courses, which I was doing with the communities.
You're here at the Internet Center, where we teach lessons in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, and even typing. There are other people, they don't have an access to information, lack of maybe they didn't go to school. So here we have some handouts which we give to the people. So we have some of them in English, Chichewa, and even Tonga, so that maybe they can understand better.
We're here in the media room where we can show film and radio and have as an editing station where kids can learn about different film, music, photography, that kind of editing. Also hopefully to move towards journalism, because we're hoping that we're going to start a radio station in town, which would be a community radio station. Tonga's a minority language, so never any education is in Tonga. So we can have health programs on there, education programs on there, lots of opportunities. Everybody carries a radio here, so the chance to get the word out in that way is brilliant. We'll look for 3 years of funding so that we can employ 3 skilled Malawians that have the necessary skills. It'll still need about 20 volunteers all the time and journalists to run it, but we need 3 skilled people for 3 years, and so that we can, within that 3 years, hopefully get enough back by advertising that we'll be able to fund those 3 wages constantly.
We have an HIV group. They're called the Fawns, which is fighting AIDS with nutrition. They were told, now that they found out their status, that they should eat more healthy foods. So they came saying that they couldn't afford to buy all these healthy foods, and what could I do to help? So I suggested that they start a small business cooking local lunch for our volunteers to experience a local buffet with sima, rice, beans, anything from the area that they would eat at home. So they started having a small income from that. I got a bit more funding, so said, why don't we have weekly nutritional meetings?
They're very thankful because once they come here, they not only share the food, they also have got lessons which have been taught here on HIV and AIDS, of which they learn a lot of how they can live positively, they can live positively while they are HIV positive. So these facts as well help them to understand how their body can work, how they can live with the community, how they can share, because you know there's a lot of stigma in the communities sometimes. So for them it's good because they understand and learn how they can stand all that. So it's very good for them as well.
There are different ways to pump water. The bike was all made here on site, just with equipment found here and the welder down in town. So we've demonstrated it out and about with the farmers last year. It's actually a movable water pump, so it lifts up and attaches back to the top of the bike so you can ride your bike. So it has the potential to be a business. Basically, this unit is the old centrifugal pump. So that was an electric pump, and it's broken. So all the electrics have been taken out, and it's been adapted so that we spin this pump mechanism by the back wheel, and then the pipes are all separate, and you put them on. So, and it works. Basically, no idea. I can't work out how to change the gears, so it's on a really low level at the minute. There's lots of farmers here that during the dry season, which is 6 months, do not irrigate, do not have a second crop every year, even close to water sources, because they can't move enough water because it's very dry. So that is the potential idea, is for this will be a demonstrated one, work in progress here. So we will learn how it works and maintain it. As far as the gardening side of it, I concentrate on herbs and salad, and then the second aspect is getting new seed, transplanting things out. There's lots of insecticide plants and sweet potatoes. It's a brilliant opportunity to demonstrate to the community what you can achieve. If you look at Chikali Primary School, it was just a bare, eroded mess, and now already within 18 months of work, it has just transformed it, and there are fruit trees going, they're harvesting bananas and sweet potatoes and things like that already, and it's just changed immensely. The community's getting involved, the pupils are now getting involved as well. It's really important. A lot of Malawi, they will survive basically off very nutritionless food, if that's the right way to put it, but very carbohydrate orientated, some fish, which is good, but very few. Like, there'll be fruit and vegetables in season, but really throughout, like on a daily basis, it's not a priority.
Definitely my personality has changed living in Malawi. I feel like I can manage people, and especially in Malawi, I think as a manager there's no point in getting angry about a situation, that we are learning together, and that shouting at somebody doesn't make the situation better, that you must sit down and explain your side and then listen to other people's side. For example, at the nursery school, when we introduced porridge, I didn't want there to be salt and sugar added. But instead, I did get angry. This is before. I was like, you don't understand, sugar and salt's not good for your children every day to be having that. And they were like, at hospital they tell us that we must have sugar and salt, and that I must learn that there's no competition, that if a hospital is telling people that that's what they should do, then I should respect that culturally and understand that, like for rehydration, you have to have sugar and salt. Maybe it's a wrong message that the hospital is giving, but it's something that I should respect. And instead of no children coming to the nursery school, there has to be a compromise and an understanding of what's going on out here.
Being involved with the projects has been very satisfying. I have been teaching geography and it is very rewarding to see children improve their writing skills and ultimately improving their English. We kind of expose them to certain things that go on in our home countries, different jobs that people do, because here in Malawi it is obviously a very poor country, the fourth poorest in the world I believe, and the vast majority of people live subsistence lives where they either catch fish or grow crops, and there's very little cash economy. So if we can give these children a good standard of English, perhaps they can go on and do something meaningful with their lives.
We're really happy that Butterfly has its name. It already did when we bought it, so we can't take the credit for it. And we've changed it from Butterfly Lodge to Butterfly Space, because we believe it's not just a lodge anymore, it's a space for everybody to be welcomed and to learn skills and have opportunities that they wouldn't be having necessarily. And for me it was a big sign that the universe was saying, this should be yours. As my mum and me are very close, and it was we have a special poem together about butterflies, about spreading your wings. Anyway, big family history, but anyway, it was a beautiful story for us as a family to buy Butterfly and have it called that already.
I can't even remember what it was like to live at home. It's been that long since I've been here. It's very different. You see your individualisms more when you're here because nobody else is like that. It's weird if I won't give away 3/4 of what I have. That's seen as weird. Yeah, so that's hard to get used to. It's closer to nature. Like the reason I stopped in Malawi is it has the potential of sustainability. Like the West, we talk about it and we don't do anything about it. It's merely getting worse. And in a way here, because they have the potential to bypass the West really, because the West's so hooked up in economics and growth that it's really hard for them to step back from that and say, well, actually, we just need less, or we can be happy with less, and everything's hard to change at home. So to get off the grid, or to do your own sewage, or to do all the things that we need to do to be sustainable at home, it's hard work and it's prohibitive. It's hard to do. Here, because there's no grid, there's no sewage, it's easier to set up a lot of those appropriate technologies that could make us ultimately sustainable. So that was initially as well a big reason for being in Malawi.
Over all things, it seems people has get to know Butterfly Space as their place where they can interact with the people from other countries. Our aim at Butterfly Space is to make everybody happy, tourists and local people, so that we can share ideas and share knowledge. Most of the volunteers, I've seen most of them really going out with smiles that really they've done something.
I built Butterfly Lodge about 15 years ago. I couldn't be happier that I sold this place to anybody. I was worried that I was going to sell it to somebody who was just going to turn it into a concrete block of a beach resort and that sort of thing, and that hasn't happened. the focus on the gardens and everything like that has remained the same and even improved since they took it over. And the, you know, their relationship with the community at large is just so good. You know, they've turned this place from literally just a backpacker's lodge into so much more, so much more.